Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter here for the next 20 minutes. Today we are going to be working in the donations module and we are going to be talking about giving accounts, how to set them up, how to make changes, and we're also going to be looking at subtotals, how to create subtotals so you get your accounts organized properly when you run one of our account balances report. I do want to let you know that it's just me today. We're a little short-staffed and calls are coming in pretty heavy today. So it's just me. I am happy to answer questions for you, but just keep in mind that I'm probably not going to get to those questions until the end of the webinar. So on your GoToWebinar toolbar, if you expand the sections that says questions, you feel free to type in your question. Because there's a lot of you and just one of me today, I would ask that you try to keep your questions on topic. If you have something that's specific to your data or that's a little off topic that I didn't go over, shoot us an email to support@churchwindows.com or just give us a call on our 1-800 number and we can get you an answer that way. But just keep in mind, I'm not going to get to those questions until the end. Honestly, I'm not even going to look at them because if I try to read a question while I'm trying to present, I mess everything up. So just hold off till the end. I do want to point out that today's topic is from one of our workbooks. So if you go out to our website, churchwindows.com, and up at the top under beginning, under training workbooks, all of our workbooks for our modules are available here. So like I said, today is from the Donations 101 workbook, specifically pages 26 through 36. So you can purchase these. They're $12. You get a downloadable version of them that you can print out on your own, or you can order the pre-printed binder ready workbook. That's $22 and we mail that to you. So if you want a hard copy of this, head out to the website. Feel free to order that. But also we record these. So this will be recorded, cleaned up, and put out on the website here by the end of the week. If you want to watch it again or share it with someone that you think would find this information helpful, feel free to find those out on our website as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So page 26 in the Donations 101 workbook, like I said, talks about giving accounts. As you can see, we are working in version 21.18.3. This is our most current version. If you're seeing something older than this, feel free to call us or email us. We can help get you up to date. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Donations module here. And there's two different ways you can look at your giving accounts that you have. So if you are new to Church Windows Donations, you are going to have to go in and create giving accounts. If you've converted from the older contributions module, all of those giving accounts came forward with you into the donations module. But you can go right here in the middle of the screen and click on Manage Accounts, or you can come up here under Accounts and Pledges and hit Manage Accounts here. Both buttons are going to take you to the exact same spot, just two different ways to get to it. When the giving account screen opens, you can see all of your giving accounts are listed over here on the left. Okay. You have to have a name for a giving account. You can have as many giving accounts as you wish. Some people I talk to only have two. Their church only has 2 accounts. Some people I talk to have a bunch. It's really up to you. What we recommend, especially if you're just starting out, is to kind of sit down and on paper figure out what accounts are important to you or what accounts you want to be able to report on specifically. And then once you get that figured out, you can come in and put those accounts in Church Windows. Along with an account name, you have the option for an account ID. Now, account IDs are not required. I do find that they are helpful in certain situations in organizing for reports, but like I said, if you don't use IDs, which is fine, all of your accounts are just going to be in alphabetical order, which is an option. Now, when you come into this giving account screen, you're going to see your IDs and your names on the left. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you have some different display options. By default, only your active accounts are going to be showing up here on this left side. You do have the option to show inactive. We'll go into this a little bit more, but if you decide you no longer need an account and you mark it inactive, that account's going to be hidden. And if you want to see those inactive accounts, you simply put a check mark in this box, and then those inactive accounts will then be included in this list. If you only want to see inactive accounts, simple enough, uncheck the Show Active box, and then you will see accounts that you've marked inactive over time. Okay, so that's just a little way to filter this left-hand side. You also have a search up here. If you have a specific account you want to look for, say you're one of those churches that has many accounts, you can use the search box here. You can simply type in the name of the account that you're looking for, and as you start typing, your results are going to appear in the drop box. You can use your mouse to select it, or if it's highlighted in blue, just hit enter on your keyboard and it's going to jump right to that account, and you can make adjustments from there. If you want to change the name of a giving account, say you want this to say mission instead of missions, all you have to do is click right in the box and make the change accordingly. Okay? Same goes for IDs. You can change account IDs at any time. You would just simply click in here, backspace it out, and type in the new thing that you want. Okay? There's no save on this screen. All you have to do is simply click somewhere else and your change will stick. There is a refresh accounts button. You can hit that if you like. If you make a change and you want to see it affected immediately, just hit that button. It's going to go in and reload this screen for you. Okay. Now, let's look over here on the right-hand side. There's two tabs. There's a Detail tab and there is an Accounting Links tab. I want to go through each of these options over here as well. Print on statement. It's a simple checkbox. This decides whether an account is going to show up when you go to print a donation statement for someone. So an example of a reason why you wouldn't want it to show is some of the people or churches I talk to, they might have a giving account set up for their library, or maybe they're doing a Bible study and somebody got a book. If they want to track that through donations, but it's not a gift, it's not a true donation, they don't want it to show up on their donation statement at the end of the year, you could create a giving account specifically for that Bible study book. And then over here on the right, you would uncheck that print on statement box. You could still enter a donation to it through Enter Donations. You could still handle things as you would a regular giving account, except it's not going to show up on that person's donation statement at the end of the year. Again, you don't have to set things up that way. You don't ever have to uncheck that box, but it's simply an option. Over here on the left, this is that inactive checkbox I was referring to a little bit earlier. If you have a giving account that has had any activity to it at all, at any period of time you've had the program, even if it was 5 years ago, you're not going to be able to use this delete button down here and delete it. Okay, that history has to stay in the program at this point. But you can make it inactive. If you want to hide it, get it off your reports, remove it as an option while entering donations, you can check this inactive box and it will be hidden from that point forward. Change your mind, you come back in here, you check Show Inactive at the bottom so you can find it, and then you would remove the inactive checkbox there on the right if that's something you want to do. Giving is tax deductible. Again, this is an optional choice. There is a yes, no, and an unknown box. If you create a giving account and you know it's not tax deductible, maybe people gave through another type of account before the money came to your church and that previous company handled the taxes on it, you could use no. Or you could leave it to yes, and that will be included in their tax deductible total on their donation statement. Again, it's just an option. Comments are just that. If you want to add some notes about the giving account on the left, feel free to type those in. Is this a pledgeable account? So in donations, you have the option to create campaigns or enter pledges for people or givers in your program. If you have a giving account that you don't want to be an option for people to pledge to, you would simply uncheck that box and then you wouldn't be able to enter a pledge on the campaign and pledges screen with this giving account. Default pledge frequency. If you are a church or an organization that people always pledge weekly or people always are going to pledge monthly, you can change that default frequency here for the giving account you have highlighted over on the left. If people can pledge any way they want, however they want, then just leave it on flat. This is just a default. So even if you have weekly set up, when you go to create the pledge, you can still change it on that screen. This is just the default option that's going to automatically pop up. It's just designed to save you a click or two when you're creating pledges. Here's that delete button. You can delete a giving account as long as it has no activity to it. If there is any activity, like I said, you cannot delete it. You're going to have to come up here and use that inactive box. Okay? All right, next thing I want to show you, I will show you accounting links. I didn't forget. We're going to go there in a minute. But I want to show you how to create a new giving account. Okay? You can do that right here on this screen by hitting the little green plus sign. And it's going to open up a new screen. This is where you have to put in the ID if you use IDs and also what the account name is. So we are doing a 5K here in April and I want to raise money for it and I'm going to call it Stutter Walk 5K. Okay. I'm going to put that account name in. Now at this point you can go ahead and you can hit add giving account if you want to. You don't have to. You can come down here and add show detail and then you're going to see lots of information like you would see on the manage account screen back here in the back. This just allows you to update this information on the fly while you're adding a new account. But I do want to point out these accounting links real quick. So if you use our accounting module, you are going to need to fill this in before you can transfer any donations to this Stutter Walk account over to accounting. Okay, so I want to show you how to link that up from here. Your debit account, this is going to be the bank account or the asset over in accounting that the money is going to be put in. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose Huntington Bank Checking. Credit account, this is going to be the account, the other side of your two-sided transaction of where you want this money to go. So I have an income account, a fundraising income account that I'm going to find, and I'm going to choose that as my default debit and my default credit account for my Stutter Walk account that I've created in donations. Now you do have a prepaid credit account. This is optional, does not have to be filled in, but if you ever are going to have someone prepaying to the giving account up above, it's a good idea to fill this in so the program knows to credit this other account. But for now, I'm just going to say add giving account, and I'm going to say okay to close out of here. So now in my list, I have my new account that I've created, and I have my ID in here. And if I need to make changes, I can do that here on either tab. All right. So let me jump back over. Let's move on to order accounts. Now on the enter donation screen, let me show you real quick. Down below, you have a place here to pick the giving account that you want people's money to go to. Right here. You can come in here and you can set the order that these accounts are going to appear. Okay, two ways you can do this. You can go right here, hit this little ... button to set your account order, or, which I'm going to show you the different place to do it, you can come up here under accounts and pledges and you can get to order accounts here. Takes you to the exact same window, it just depends on how you want to get to it. Quick options, sort by name. If you want your giving accounts to be in alphabetical order on that enter donation screen, all you need to do is hit sort by name and it's going to reorder your list alphabetically for your giving accounts. You want it sorted by number, you can simply check sort by number. It's going to be numerically sorted, okay? Another option is going to be allowing you to customize this order completely, okay? So Lent's going on, Easter's coming up. Let's say people are going to be giving to these accounts. I want to move these up to the top of the list. I can simply highlight the account I want to move. Over here, use this big arrow, and that will move it up in the list to where I want it. Let's do the same with Easter. Highlight it, move it up in the list. I'm also going to move up our Stutter Walk account, the little 5K account that I made for fundraising. I'm going to put it up here towards the top 2. Okay, because people are going to be giving to that. You can come in here and you can reorder this as often as you need. I'm going to say okay, and I want to show you the results here on Enter Donations. Do today's date. I'm going to go with Jeffrey. Say he gave $100. And when I come down here under account/pledge, you can see my general fund, still my #1 account, but right below that, Lent, Easter, and the Stutter Walk account have moved up to the top. Okay? Nice to customize, save you a couple keystrokes that's having to scroll through or use your down arrow to get to the account that you want. All right, so that covers ordering the giving accounts. So I'm at the bottom of page 32. We're going to talk about creating subtotals. Now, creating subtotals in donations is only going to be reflected on one of our reports. Okay, so keep that in mind. Up here under Reports/Export, under Lists and Labels, you have the List Account Balances report. This report, I'm going to go ahead and hit print just so you can see what it looks like. Is pretty straightforward. You're going to get the ID, you're going to get the giving account name, and then you're going to get the balance, or depending on what time frame or columns you chose, will be reflected over here. But as you can see, we have subtotals. These are these bolded lines here, okay? This is a really, really nice report for different committees, finance committees, things like that, of people who want to see how much in a particular time frame went into certain accounts, and then they want them subtotaled together. So they want to see in total how much money went into our total holiday giving. Okay, so here's all of the accounts that make up our total holiday giving subtotal. All right, so let me show you how to create those subtotals. Back up here at the top under Accounts and Pledges, we're going to go right here to Subtotals. And as you can see, I have a couple subtotals already set up. So just to explain how this screen works, if you see an arrow next to something, that is going to be a subtotal, okay? If I come down here and I hit Show Accounts, I'm then going to get these different icons, these little lines. These are actually going to show me what are my giving accounts. So as you can see, here's our Stutter Walk that we just created. Okay, so the arrows are our subtotals. Subtotals are not accounts. It's just a way to group or organize things. And then the ones with the line is actually our giving accounts. Okay, so I'm going to hit Hide Accounts, and I want to show you how to create a giving account first. So down at the bottom, or I'm sorry, create a subtotal, excuse me. So down at the bottom, we're going to hit the Add New Subtotal button. And it's going to give me a new line over here on the left. And if I look over here to the right, and my cursor is already flashing, it wants my subtotal name. So the example on page 33, it's called Total Rental Giving. Go ahead and put that in. And then you also have a display as header option. If you want to see a header showing up at the top, it'll be in italics on the list account balances report. You can do that and then specify what you want the header to be. And I'll point this out when I run the report again. But that's how you create a subtotal. Now, if I look back over to the left, I now have a new line or subtotal for total rental giving. Okay. Now let's say I have an account that I want to put now here under my total rental giving subtotal that I just made. And I want to move this one. It's called Facilities Rental. I want to move this subtotal into that new total rental giving subtotal that I made. I want this account to go to my new subtotal. So I'm going to highlight the account that I want to move, and then over here on the right I have this little drop box. It says move 995 facilities rental to, and then I need to pick the subtotal that I want it to go to. So I want it to go to total rental giving. I'm going to select that subtotal, and then I'm going to hit move account. So now if we look over here back on the left, here's my subtotal, and then here's the giving account that I just moved to be listed under that subtotal. Okay. Now you can also drag and drop accounts if that's something you want to do. Let's move our stutter walk account, and we're going to put that under total in and out giving. Okay. Here's that subtotal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my stutter walk account. I'm going to click and hold. And then I'm going to start dragging. I'm going to keep dragging it down. Nope, let me try that again here. Keep dragging it down, and then I'm going to drop it right here in my total in and out giving subtotal. And as you can see now on the left, I have stutter walk in the correct subtotal. Now, I'm not a fan of the dragging and dropping. Okay, I struggle with that. I like to use the move box. So if you like the drag and drop, go with that. If you're more comfortable just highlighting the giving account, picking the subtotal you want it in, use this field over here on the left. Okay. So let me check my, one more thing I want to show you. I'm going to hit hide accounts. Now say you want to reorder your subtotals, you can definitely do that. Let's say we want to move, the example in the book is for memorial giving. Let's say we want to move that up a little bit higher in the list. You can definitely do that by clicking the subtotal to highlight it, and then using these big chunky arrows over here on the right. And as you click it up, it's going to jump up in the list. So let's say we want memorial giving a little bit higher, and I want to move total other accounts down to the bottom. Okay. You're just reorganizing the order that your subtotals are going to appear on the report. Okay. So let's run that report so you can see what we've done here. Reports and export, lists and labels, list account balances. I'm just going to leave the default settings here, and I'm going to hit print. So now you can see here's our stutter walk account. It's right here. Let me grab a highlighter. Here's our stutter walk account, and it is now included in our total in and out giving subtotal. Now we have our facilities rental. It's under rental giving. And then we also have our other accounts. We move that to the bottom, so now you can see that that is now at the end instead of rental giving being at the end. Okay. So that is how you handle subtotals, and that covers everything I needed to show you today.